Which cart?
Amazon.
I have like almost 3,000 in my Amazon cart. You don't just throw things you like in. I didn't realize that wasn't a normal thing to do. Shannon? No?
No,
I mean, if it's certain, if it's something that I think I'm going to come back to, then yes. But like not $3,000 worth.
No, if I'm coming back to it, I'll save it for later or I'll put it in a wish list. But it doesn't actively stay in my cart. No, because I may accidentally hit purchase.
Baby.
Oh, I won't do that. I won't do that. I would never do that. Yeah, let's see. What is it right now? Oh, no, excuse me. It's just short of 2,000 right now. $1,954.10.
Girl, mine ain't in the hundreds.
I think I've got 4 things in my Amazon cart.
I have 3 reformers. That brings it up.
3 women, 1 group chat, 0 chill. Shannon, calm until she's not.
Pop off when I need to.
LV, if rage baking was a person.
Fuck off, Betty Crocker.
Stacey, where charm meets consequences.
Did your mama let you go out like that?
The A Collective starts now.
All right, folks, welcome in. We've got another episode loading of the A Collective. We're so happy to have you join us today. I am Shannon, and Lord, my poor neurotic sister is over there. She's joining me. Hi, LV.
Hi. I know I say this almost every week, but I really went off this timeline. It just gets wackier and wackier. And so I'm fine. Stace, my love. Hi. Can you show everybody your shirt? Because your shirt is just amazing. Thank you.
It's all about
That's
the women.
us.
But hi, guys. Are we rested, rejuvenated?
Did you have fun at New Edition?
I enjoyed myself.
Shannon had on a whole outfit, baby. I said, oh, scandalous.
I am getting used to my body, but my little size 8 body. It's really an 8'10", what my little size 8'10" body does.
Go ahead and do it.
I'm trying to be a menace out here to society this summer, but we're trying to gather up our confidence and courage to do it. Bless you.
That was the cutest sneeze ever.
It was not. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just my allergies cutting up because the world is cutting up.
The dumpster fire.
True.
And LV's president. You know I get a kick out of saying that all the time.
Because you like my reaction every time.
Yeah, your guy showed himself all weekend.
So do we think someone hid the medication? Or
didn't change him?
Because he was ready and raring to go this weekend, apparently.
Yeah.
First of all, I think that it needs to be said, even though I did not necessarily always agree with Robert Mueller, I think our prayers and thoughts and all that go out to Robert Mueller's family and anyone who, his life touched in one way or another, because he served our country, right? He served our country honorably. He fought in Vietnam. He was the second longest FBI director in history under J. Edgar Hoover. And then our president says, good, I'm glad he's dead.
That's what we call a scoundrel. Dirty, rotten scoundrel. But people agreed with it. You know that, right?
Well, yeah,
did y'all see social media? And they were like, well, he made his life hell. Shannon's brewing something over there.
No, Shannon's just brewing. I don't know why anyone's surprised by this.
Yeah.
Why are we surprised? This is, his go-to shtick. Because at this point, I just consider this all a shtick. It's, Yeah.
He's horrible.
And he has no class, and the people who agree with this ain't got no class either.
No, what did he say? It was something that people made excuses for it and said, well, he made his life horrible. Well, he was doing criminal things, allegedly, so there's an investigation. So what do you think is going to happen?
But these are the same people who were outraged when people had no sympathy or remorse for Charlie Kirk.
Ding, ding, ding.
And they're Christians. Yeah. Christians celebrate the death of someone else, right?
And then they're going to be outraged, baby, when probably parties break out in the streets when when the orange man bites the big one.
The other countries, can you imagine those celebrations?
They're going
They're
to be
probably going to be
parades.
harder than ours.
I'm going to sit in my house and mind my business. It could be dangerous out there. Sit in my house and mind my business. Because I think the reaction on both sides is going to be very, very visceral.
Yeah.
On both sides. On both sides. I think it is going to show how just we're divided even more.
I would be lying if I didn't admit to, is that how you say it? I would be lying. I have a split of champagne in my fridge.
And you don't even drink, my girl.
I don't, but special occasions. I'm not saying I'm
Don't
going to go
even
outside
know.
or publicly, I'm not going to make a video and be like, cheers, but I may or may not have a split of champagne in the fridge for a certain event.
I mean, I am excited to see social media reaction, right? Because we are preparing for this right now. And I can imagine that day will be amazing.
But so do we think that I don't know how to word this.
Just put it out there. We'll
Do we
figure it
think
out.
that these are all like good signs that this might happen sooner? Because that, I know, Shannon, you think that it's like all part of a shtick, but like.
I mean, a bunch of this is. It's market manipulation. It's
His
Monday, Friday market
Iranian
manipulation. It
7:45 a.m.
is on the weekend. Let's just sow seeds
Turn
of
up.
chaos. It's a shtick. It's a shtick. And I mean, and some of it is egged on, I think, by people behind the scenes. Some of it is him and his alleged dementia and crazy town behavior.
Hatefulness. Hateful. He wants to be a bully.
Yeah.
Well, his filter, if he is really having mental health challenges, his filter's slipping as well. So, it's crazy times. I'm not surprised. I don't even let it move me anymore, because if I do, I'd be in a corner by now. I really would. So I don't even let it. I ignore it. Oh, that's what you did. Okay, good for you.
It got on my nerves this weekend, but I was in the house not doing much and got the text about Robert Mueller passing away, which it was shocked because I didn't know he was ill. I didn't know how old he was either. So
I didn't
that
either.
was kind of like, what? And so, of course, it goes to other thoughts of other things happening. So I'm like, okay. And then the text messages came across and I was like, no, wait a minute. And, I'm at a table with my girlfriends and they were like, you have got to be kidding. And I mean, we're sensible people at a table. And so it was still a shock factor. Then I get home and now he's, threatening Iran. Excuse me, sir, lay down. But it goes to our theory every weekend is foolishness. When the markets close, he shows his ass.
Well, and do you think that that's also just a sign that there's maybe a little bit less staff on weekends too, to be able to,
No, I don't know. It's like a theme. It's a running thing. And I don't think we did not see that in the last.
This round is, I'm even hearing MAGA, especially MAGA that has like seen the light.
They ain't
Be
seen
like,
shit.
These are two totally different administrations. These are two totally different terms. And like, yeah, because he had time to prepare. He didn't think he was going to win the first time.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. But all of us have to go through the emotions of it that are aware, and it takes over the news cycle. It takes over like anything that you're looking at. So you definitely have to go to Netflix. Don't look on social media to see it all come through, because you'll be nuts. And that's what I kind of think happened to me on Saturday, because I was incapacitated and I was in the house and I was like, oh, geez Louise.
Although when
everybody's reaction.
You go on Netflix, though, maybe don't watch Ginny and Georgia, because season 3 is a little intense and you may just cry for almost 24 hours, but it's fine. And John Thune's like, well, we'll work through, because they need to pass because TSA and DHS and, the government shutdown, that I will remind people again, Democrats do not have any form of control. So while I do believe that those, silent Sallies need to step up and grow a fucking spine, because you're stepping up a little, but you're like on the baby box. I need you to jump up on the big box and actually do something, because they're blaming you, calling this a democratic shutdown.
Shutdown.
And you don't fucking have control.
Well,
So
we know
stop
that. And
taking it.
but what else are they going to do? What are they going to do? You think about it. They have voted on this multiple
I know,
times.
they brought it 7 times trying to
It's
separate
10
it out.
now.
So that, okay, so yeah, excuse me.
Yeah,
So
it's
10
gone up.
times.
Yeah.
And then we end up with, LaGuardia.
But I mean, just even going back to the threats on another country, I just want to go back to that because you threatened them.
48.
Then you lied and said 48 hours is the timeline you gave them. And then you said on Monday morning, we've been having conversations for the last 2 days. 2 days equals 48 hours. So why did you issue this threat? Because who have you talked to? And then they said, yeah, we didn't talk to him. Who did he talk to? No one knows.
And then when he was asked about it, he's like, they were like, well, was it a senior official? Well, was it the supreme leader? No, it wasn't the supreme leader. It was just a senior official who's very in the know.
Who's talking to you?
So
Nobody
who was
is talking to you.
Well, I can't. Well, what are the goals? What are you guys deciding? Well, I can't get into that either.
Because there are no goals. There's no conversation. As someone that is a project manager, we can tell that this was a failure from the beginning. There was no plan of action. What is the goal and how are we going to get there? Nothing. And then you throw him in here telling lies.
Well, these
people are laughing at him. They had Lego animation going around that they made that was very good. They had him in the bed with the little girl in Legos.
I mean,
they are trolling the shit out of him. And I am proud of them.
He doesn't seem to care because he's just still carrying on with his shenanigans.
Yeah, dragged it along, went to Memphis line yesterday. He was down there saying, when I walk out on the street in Washington, people come up to me and say, thank you because of the crime.
Shit.
Who are these people? Who is talking to you? Who is talking
Nobody
to you?
Inside the Beltway. That's him.
These are conversations that you're having here. It's just, and it's crazy town. Crazy. And it's every day. So how do we get off of this? Like, do we feel like he's fearful that there is no exit strategy?
He knows there's no exit strategy.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll blame others.
Go ahead.
He'll blame others. That's all. There's no exit strategy.
So how long are we going to be in this, do we think?
Forever.
Much
Is what
longer than
happens
he's
when you
saying.
decide that you should put a offense to reservists. But when you put a dude who was only ever in the reserves and then his claim to fame is being a Fox host, I refuse to say news, a Fox entertainment host who,
yeah, we are going to be here for a long time at the detriment of losing American lives. The economy is trash.
Gas is almost $4.
Super expensive.
Actually kind of love this.
I'm not too far off with Shannon.
I'm not mad about it at all. At all.
No. And I'm just like, but think about the people that don't have the luxury to do that have to go to work. Because my husband has to downtown every day.
So how long do we think, because we know his, Kool-Aid Gallon Club members are, they just parrot. He says prices are down, they parrot it out. He says gas prices are under $2 a gallon. They don't care what they see at their own. They just parrot it out. When do we think they're going to be like, gas is $4.20 and my grocery bill, because farmers can't get their fertilizer, all these things, my grocery bill went from being, $200 to $300 in the matter of 2 months. Do we think that this might actually break some of it?
No.
And I think they will sustain for a while. And I do think that eventually, but it's going to take a while because their thought process right now is, well, we know it's going to get bad for a minute. Now, what that minute is, I don't know. And they don't know either. So they'll give it excuse after excuse after excuse and saying this is just that minute time frame. So we're in it and they are poor. A lot of them are very, very poor. So I don't know how they're going to make ends meet.
They're going to struggle.
Yeah. But it's all because, Trump said it's just going to be for a short period of time. And last night I was watching the news and they said over 2 million people have lost health insurance since the beginning of the year. So you think about what is that MAGA demographic? Do they care?
I know a lot of them actually don't.
So it's like a trickle down. Yeah. I
You're
mean,
talking about the
healthcare.
administration officials? Do they care?
No,
No,
I'm talking about the
the
MAGA, like
everyday
the
Oh, the
Joes.
people.
like those people. And I'm thinking, like, guys, y'all are MAGA voters, and now you don't have health care. Is this not alarming to you?
Some of them it's not. I know some MAGA that are so, and they'll just go to Tractor Supply and get their ivermectin.
Yeah, and there's an uptick of Lyme disease.
Yay.
Like, what is, like, it's just the weirdest stuff that is going on, and it will make you nutty. And I'm just like, when do we go back to normal, or what is normal? Like, what is it?
If
What's the
this is
baseline?
normal, I don't.
And we know, just talking about the threats, as Shannon mentioned, market manipulation. I think a lot of us saw it on yesterday morning, and it was like, now we came to an agreement right before markets open. Yeah, before markets open.
Suddenly
and
futures.
trading. Exactly. And I was like, okay, but nobody's really calling it out. I started seeing more stories about it yesterday afternoon, but people that watch patterns and see what's going on, we all saw this yesterday when it happened.
I think mainstream media is scared to call it out because I intentionally watched to see what NBC News said about it today, this morning.
Uh-huh.
They didn't call it out as manipulation. They just said he made this announcement and stocks rallied.
Yeah.
And so that was, that was it. And I mean, literally, and it
Next
kind of moved
story.
on.
I feel like MS now does,
Yes.
now that they've broken, I feel like they do kind of give little teeny tiny pokes. I'm not saying that they're perfect. I'm just saying I do notice with some of their hosts, they do kind of try to, and then of course there's Rachel Maddow who just does say the quiet part out loud. But
Rachel said it last night. So did Lawrence O'Donnell, which those are the two that are going to give you
They're our
what you
writer
need.
guys.
They're going to say it. But this morning on Good Morning America, I was watching just to see what was the statement going to be. And they didn't touch on any of this foolishness. Nothing. Like their top story, I want to say, was talking about how Easter baskets are going to be more expensive this year. Well, yes, everything is expensive, but why are we here? And nobody touched it. So I just turned the TV off. I was like, okay, so this is where we are. And I'm just like, if you don't get it from social media,
you aren't getting it. You aren't getting the full story unless you have critical thinking skills and analysis for yourself based on just finding other sources of information. But that's kind of the state of the world we live in. Who was the correspondent who was with CBS that just left?
that went to Midas Touch.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
Scott McFarlane.
McFarlane. That's right. Scott McFarlane.
Okay.
Scott McFarlane?
Yeah, he's with Midas Touch now.
Yeah, he has his own YouTube. And I guess Midas is expanding their net, like they're creating a network of correspondents that maybe have the ability to do both, like have your own independent thing and then do work for them. Yeah, do work under their umbrella because they announced his YouTube.
I saw it yesterday.
They've been doing that because they have Politics Girl. She was probably their first one that they brought on. But I'm an OG Midas. I'm one of the original founding members. I actually have a founding member card.
Look at you. They need
Jordy
some diversity, though.
Me. Huh?
They need some diversity.
Yeah. Jordy used to follow me on Twitter, but
yeah, they need some diversity.
Yeah.
I do listen to them and I follow them. However, their clickbait titles are interesting. They're very clickbaity. And I'm like, okay, you got to do better than that. But they do need some diversity.
I mean, if you're looking for DEI group chat podcast, Midas Touch, we got you.
Yeah. So.
But it would serve them well to get some heavy hitters that have left mainstream media like a Tiffany Cross.
Absolutely.
A Jamel Hill. I think it would be helpful. I'm on the fence about Joy just because she might be a little bit too big of a name for them. Although, well, that's a whole, never mind.
She can stay, she just needs to stay in her own lane. And a lot of people are realizing what she is. I saw a whole thread about her. Did you see it this morning, Shannon? Whoa, I saw it this morning at Starbucks and people were like, Joy Ann Reid is a hater.
Yeah, I haven't done enough scrolling this morning because I got up kind
Okay.
of moving and realized I didn't submit my no-shows that were due at midnight last night. And so I had to hurry up,
Hit
make
the
my
ground running.
coffee. Baby, yeah, I did. I went and sat in that office and was like, oh my God. So yeah.
Joyanne Reed was carrying on, and she's obviously not a fan of Kamala Harris, so she can stay wherever she is on her own network. Because I think that eventually is going to erupt and blow up in her face. But do we want to go back and start talking about ICE at the airport?
Yeah.
I flew. I flew before ICE infiltrated the airports, but it's a farce. There's no, other than maybe crowd control, which is really only helpful to the airlines because TSA isn't offering crowd control. Let me say this. I can speak for Atlanta. TSA is not offering crowd control. So it's airlines. And for Atlanta, Hartsfield Jackson, they have personnel who greet you, who check your boarding pass as you get ready to enter checkpoint lines on a normal day, what would be the checkpoint line. But those people have also been redeployed to help snake people through and maintain crowd control. Well, that's all that ICE can do. They're supplementing airline and airport personnel. They're not supplementing for the TSA because they can't do the TSA's job. They're not trained in their job. So it's a waste, so to speak. I mean, it's great that you can help the
Oversee.
airports and airlines, but I mean, you aren't getting people through the line any faster because you can't take over manning a machine. You can't check bags that get flagged and pulled to the side. You can't. There's nothing you can do. So I'm real unclear about just what the purpose is other than to help make sure people get in the right line.
Project manager here, there's no plan. There wasn't one.
Yeah.
Tom
Because
Homan got up and said he didn't know what was going on, but he would go. So I saw people standing overlooking TSA agents, like over their shoulder in their tactical gear, maskless. And that's another thing. But they were just kind of standing against the wall and they're getting paid a lot of money. So
well, not in San
Meanwhile, the
Francisco, they were.
TSA,
absolutely.
it's not.
No plan. No plan of action. No
And I can promise you,
strategy.
I don't want ICE patting me down if I make the buzzer beep.
They can't.
What- Yeah.
They
Well,
they can't. They can't pat you down. Literally, they cannot do any of the TSA's jobs. So their only job is they're not even that I have seen, at least here in Atlanta, they're not on in what airports called the sterile side of the terminal, which is just beyond when you pass through security and you make it, you're in a sterile area, what they call sterile
Right.
area. They aren't even on that side of security. They're on the gen pop part of security. And all they can do is wrangle lines and help people get to the right line and maybe make
I've heard
sure
they've been
people don't
helping with
show out in
luggage.
the line. So,
Concierge service, huh? I mean,
but they literally can't do anything to help the TSA. The help they're offering, at least here in Atlanta, for crowd control is helping the airport personnel and helping the airline.
maybe if someone got rowdy. So, I'm showing out because this line you'll enforce. And that is not who I would want to help me do anything with. But I found it very interesting when I was just scrolling through pictures yesterday because we started seeing them pop up everywhere. They're maskless. Did you see how many African American TSA agents that we have? Did you see that, Shannon?
TSA
I mean,
or
ICE agents?
ICE agents. Did we notice how many?
No, because the majority of the ones that I've seen on TV here in Atlanta they're white. I think I saw a couple black men, but
I've seen
the
a number
majority
of
of them,
Hispanic.
they're
I've heard there are
Yeah.
a lot of
I've
Hispanic.
seen a lot of black women. There's a black woman
represented.
that's going around, and I was like, interesting. That was a choice. So
Someone
yeah.
needed that bonus.
it was very interesting. And I said, noted.
Well, the other thing is, and I'm not going to, well, I know I'm not going to say that, and I'm not going to judge harshly because this could have been her job before all the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know what she has or hasn't done. We're making assumptions about what she's currently doing, and good, bad, or indifferent, these people got to make their living like everybody else. We don't know. She could be vested, and she don't want to lose her vestment. And I can't blame her because ain't nothing I can do to help her not lose her vestment. Now, let's be clear. It's a little different situation if she came to ICE as a result of the ads. But we've had all kinds of ICE agents prior to this. And these folks, I feel sad for them because some of them are between a rock and a hard place. They are just trying to
Survive.
make ends meet because it's hard out here. And, some of them look like, okay, yeah, it's ICE. What if I quit my job, what other option do I have?
I mean, I get it, but I thought it was very interesting that she has circulated a lot. And I was like, this ain't gonna be good for her. The connotation going along with it. And I mean, I'm not as nice as you, Shannon. I was like, girl, what is going on here? But thanks for putting that perspective on it.
I just, I try. So good, bad, or indifferent. Sometimes I really try to assume positive intent. Now, her story could be she took the job knowing what the job was and woe be unto her because you will reap what you sow. Right?
Absolutely.
And so I do believe that, but we also don't know a lot of these people's stories. A lot of these people, may have had these jobs prior and they don't want to lose their good government job. So they're having to, do maybe be places they don't necessarily want to be and do some things they don't necessarily want to do. And they, at the end of the night, they have to lay down and reconcile
And
with that.
as Black people say, do something strange for a little piece of change. This is what I would equate to that. Falls in that category.
Mhm. So, I mean, you just never know. So I feel bad for the position that uh, pretty much all of these agents have been placed in. Some of them, let's be clear now, some of them thrive on some of this poor decision making and popping off without whole stories, and they love the latitude they've been given. Let's be
Yeah.
clear. I'm
The
not
power.
naive
The
to
power.
that. Yeah. And that they can do anything they want. There'll be a reckoning for that once this administration's over. I firmly believe that. But, I would be interested in hearing some of these agents' stories before I willingly
Vilify
condemn
them
them all.
like I
Yeah.
did. Because I just vilified. And I did it. I said it.
Hey,
Well,
it
Mm-hmm.
is what it is.
and they may have
Yeah.
plenty of time to show us who they are and tell us their stories through their time in the
Mm-hmm.
airport because they may be hanging out as, TSA aid for longer than we would like, considering the fact that, going back to Trump liking to tweet on the weekend, I actually have it pulled up so I can read it verbatim. But he said, I don't think we should make any deal with the crazy, country destroying, radical left Democrats unless and until they vote with a capital V with Republicans to pass the quote unquote the Save America Act. It is far more important than anything else we are doing in the Senate.
So let's talk about that Save Act. Trash. That's what I can say about it.
It is. And even most Republicans realize they're only going to shoot themselves in the foot with it. And they realize and recognize that it's going to disenfranchise a lot of voters because particularly women, which for some of those folks, their underlying current is to disenfranchise women. Women should be in the home. They should not be out here trying to make a living. They shouldn't be running anything. They shouldn't be doing any of that. So I don't think Republicans are crazy. And, they better be watching because the backlash behind this could be swift. There's going to be a lot of backlash already because gas. You said you were going to make gas and food cheaper.
Yeah.
And you ain't done that yet. You ain't done that yet.
And it's continuing to go up.
Continuing to go up. So what are you going to do about it? What you going to do?
And what you going to do for me?
Yeah.
That's what people look at. What are you doing for me?
And I think that they're going to pay a price in November for all of this. People aren't going to forget.
Here's the problem, though. If somehow, okay, the Save America Act needs 60 votes. There are only 53 Democrats, so they need there are only 53 Republicans, so they need some Democratic support. And unfortunately, centrist centipede man from the great state of Pennsylvania, is wishy-washy. But the biggest problem with the Save America Act, if it does somehow pass, is the way it's written right now. It's basically not changing who can vote, but it's making it harder to prove that you can vote. So, and they want for this coming election. So there may be a lot of us who can't vote.
And they don't have to tell you that they pulled you from the voter roll. Yeah. It's nothing that you will know. You'll probably
And if you've been married multiple times, good luck, because you're going to have every marriage and divorce decree original and your birth certificate.
Yeah, I have no idea where my birth certificate is, and I have not been married multiple times. However, I do have my marriage certificate.
You better go ahead and get you a birth certificate. Like I
Yeah,
have
I need
to
to go ahead and
now.
order it. Yeah,
I have
let me
had
go
mine.
ahead and do that when we get off of here. I'll go ahead and order that because I have no
To
idea where it
friends.
is.
Because I believe it's 45 states are not compliant. So odds are your ID is not going to be enough to vote, even if you have the real ID, because it needs to have the flag on it.
Yeah, I heard that So what was the the premise
What was
of
the
that
point of the real ID? I don't know, because I had to
Exactly.
jump through 57 hoops just to get my real ID.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just chaos. And this is what we are living in. We are swimming in chaos.
But they like it. They like to create chaos. They like what it's doing. Never mind anything else. Because they got you ping-ponging in so many different ways that
You don't know which way to go.
and you
Yeah.
take your eye off of a ball that you think is super, super important because you're distracted by the 3 other balls that have just gone up in the air over here.
And I don't know how they're keeping up with it. This is not a very, very intelligent administration.
Not all of them are. I don't think they all are.
Like, Lord. Again, they don't have a plan. They have
No.
a concept of a plan.
I don't even know that they have a concept.
They're
I mean, 'cause it's
constantly
so-
firefighting.
Yeah. And that's not how you work.
Well, but we've entered the era of like hostage legislation as opposed to just, trying to
Work
meet
across the
across-
aisle.
yeah.
Be friendly.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting
Elections-
because apparently say his name. It's so stupid. Mark
Mark
Wayne
Wayne?
Mullen.
It's confirmed. If that doesn't sound like somebody that is a hillbilly, I don't know what it is.
Well, he likes to try to start fights and
His
make
behavior
fun of
is
other
rather common.
senators. And
But he falls right in line with this administration. But I saw the fight video that came up and I was like, we're tussling.
well, he's silly because he thinks Donatella cares about his son because apparently his teenage son had some like serious problem and Trump flew them to some and helped and visit and blah, 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 blah. And so his son is so proud.
Very interesting. It's a lot going on. And it seems like every week it's more and more. It's just like packing like snow. I'm like, oh my God.
That's the era we're living in right now.
I know. And I don't know when we're going to dig out of this.
It's going to take years.
Can we function like this for years?
No,
Okay.
but it's going to take years.
So what do we do in the meantime, guys?
Stock and beta blockers?
Just keep
Because
protect your peace.
I don't
Protect your
even know.
peace.
And what does that look like? I know
me,
we
it
say
means-
it all the time.
It means turning off the news and ignoring some of this. For me, it means not getting a rise or reaction from some of this because it's predictable behavior. And, I refuse to be reactive every single time he does something stupid. It just,
Just am concerned that somebody is this damn dumb and you are in the highest office. Like, I think that's what gets me. And I'm like,
you surprised by this?
I mean, we all know about mediocre white men. He is, yeah. But
His
I'm
picture
just like,
should be by it.
it should be, but it's like every day and just causing a shitstorm every day and people following behind it. What I will say though, the word on the curb is JD Vance is thinking about nothing for 2028. He's like, nope, I got family stuff to handle. And I said, is he saying something that we don't?
Well, he's going to get caught up in this as the vice president.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you speak up? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? You're a reflection of this administration, so we don't want you. So he's probably trying to distance himself a bit.
Well, and I
It's
don't
very
think,
early to do that though.
right. But I also think that, he obviously probably has people looking at his favorabilities and public pollings, and MAGA is not enthusiastic about him at all.
Well, no, the word on the curb is that this whole MAGA movement will die when Trump does. It
That's what I have said.
I mean-
can't sustain beyond him.
Cults usually do die when the leader dies.
And so I've been saying that for a while. So if this one dies tomorrow, how will this play out? Because JD Vance will be here, and will people listen to him?
It'll
I
be
don't
a
think he's going to.
struggle.
That's what I think. I don't think they're going to fall in line with him. And that is where it's really going to show.
Yeah.
And it will be a mess. I don't think Mike Johnson will fall in line. No. So, I mean, I don't want to wish ill on anyone, but it would be interesting to see sooner than later.
It's going to be interesting.
Well, I just am enjoying watching Tom Tillis. So if y'all haven't been paying attention to that crazy loony bird, you definitely should give him a little check, because since he's said he's retiring, he has zero fucks, and it's interesting
Yeah.
to watch.
It's late. It's late.
Yeah, I don't care. It's just interesting to watch right now.
Him and, is it John Kennedy,
Yes.
Louisiana?
Yeah.
That just went on and said, well, we had a bill that we were ready to present for TSA, and Trump said no. He just went, and they said, usually they don't come out and say that. He just said it, and he's old as hell. So he knows better, but he said what he wanted to say.
Yeah. And
I'm tired and now. Go ahead, Opie.
But I know that, like, they always name bills silly things, but I just can't help but going back to thinking about how they always name them, like, the best bill ever, save America. Ah. And it's like, it could have something awful in it, but Americans will still. And so I think hopefully these Tom Tillises and Kennedy, all these, because there are a number, I guess, that have recently announced that they will not be seeking reelection. And our girl Marjorie Taylor Greene, but like that maybe they can help push these whole, like, just because it's called the Save America Act doesn't mean it's actually saving America.
Yeah.
The big, beautiful bill is not big and beautiful. It's just big.
Well, Lindsey Graham is pushing for,
Lindsey Graham has been pushing for boots on the ground since the 70s or whenever. McCain was the only thing keeping a muzzle on that little girlfriend, Dolly.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And they said that a lot of Republicans are saying we want him out of the Situation Room. We don't want him involved because I can imagine he's being a little diva.
I just picture him being like, and then Trump coming in, no, I get to push it.
Yeah, they said they don't want him around. So. And I think he's running for re-election as well, correct?
He is.
Mm-hmm. How old is that man?
I don't know.
Old enough to know better.
107?
Yeah, he's the crypt keeper.
Well, I mean, this is Tuesday when we're filming this. I can imagine there will be 1,000 other things that happen between now and our next filming. So we'll try and make a checklist. Maybe if people see things that they want us to discuss, they can send it to us. That would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be good.
We need to come up with some catchy name. Sorry, branding.
I could really think of one, and I'll give it to you offline. But yeah, I think that would be good, and we can kind of talk about it on here while we're filming. Because I mean, it's the same, guys, y'all are going to get the same stuff. It's what's going on in the world, and this is what's saturating media, everything, and that's what we talk about. So is there one particular thing out of these 1,000 that are going on that you want us to discuss? We'll put our heads together and talk about it. Yeah.
Also, if you are a non-practicing white person and you want to, get out there this weekend, there are thousands of No Kings marches happening across the country. My local one is happening on Saturday from, I believe, 1 to 3. They said inflatables are welcome, so guess who's probably going to wear her dinosaur?
We need content of this.
Yeah, but so get out there, send us your signs, and remember that America was founded because we didn't want a king, and we currently have one that is a mad king. So let's go partying and
out there
make noise.
Shannon and I won't be out there. Shannon will be protecting her peace, and I'll be doing something else.
As I said,
I will watch. I will support.
More than happy to run with the torch, and it's not a literal torch. FBI, not a literal.
I will be watching from the sidelines because I know it will be quality content on Don Lemon's page.
But yeah, so check out their No Kings to see if there is a march near you. I bet there is, because seriously, there are thousands upon thousands.
I think the goal is like 10 million is what they're looking at. So that'll be interesting. So we'll have another breakdown and fit over the weekend. So just be prepared.
Hey, everybody. Until next week.
Give us the rest of the Epstein files,
Toodles!
Bond.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
You made it to the end of this episode of the A Collective.
Hit like, follow, comment, and share it with the group chat.
Otherwise, Stacey might come for you.
Yikes.
I know, so do it.
Thursdays are for chaos and new episodes of the A Collective.
Not the A-list.
No.
I'm gonna get the name right this season.
Woo, woo.
Are you
My
okay?
volumes. Yeah, your volume. The volume.
Oh, me? Do I need
It's
to turn
me.
down?
No, I might need to turn down. It's fine.
How's that? Does that sound better for you guys? Stop texting me. Stop texting. You make my alerts go, and we are recording. Don't make me block you. I'm ready. I apologize.
All right. We got to
Okay.
be done in about an
Yeah,
hour.
sorry.
So let's go.
Well, at least we'll have probably like a cold open and maybe a little bonus footage. So, you know, we're doing the things.
We ain't talked to that nigga. We didn't talk to that dude. Sorry, I marked it. Wait a minute. Did we strike a power grid? Have we done something?
He said that he was putting a pause on it for 5 days.
Okay, I got
That
an
was
alert
there,
from...
but wait, did Iran strike a power grid?
No, it says Trump, Israel strike Iran power grid despite peace talks is what I got on Pascal's show. I got an alert. So let's see.
Let's see.
And I've marked this LV to kind of help. Did you see something? Did you hit it?
No.
Wow. You're either a super fan or crazy. Thanks for being part of the collective. See you next Thursday.